the Lord has given me the commission to promote, to be a channel that promotes inspiration, motivation, education, and love. Amen. And so, with that being said, I want to welcome all of my first time visitors. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Come and join the family. We would love to have you here. And to all of my anomalians, I love you, I love you. You already know. So for all the visitors, the subscription button will come down at the end of this video. Now I'm not going to make this video long because I know that most of us only have a short attention. Um, no, I was going to make a short. That's what it was. I was going to make a short, and he said, "No, you're going to have to make a video because it's going to be too long." So I'm coming to make this video for you guys, and it is going to be entitled "Families." Families. So as I've been reading and studying the scriptures, as I read, I study. So as I was studying the scriptures, God wanted me to share with you guys that families are very important. A lot of times we want to say, oh, once my kids grow up and they move away, what they do ain't none of my business. It is your business. It is your business before from the time they are brought into this world, from the time they are conceived, even before they're conceived. God is saying that we should even plan out our pregnancies. We should plan out when our children are going to come here. We should plan out the month we want them to be born. We should plan out the name that we want them to have. Their destiny should already be planned out. Their life should already be planned out before they even come into this world. And God is very specific about this because if you read the Old Testament, you will see how families are the way that God uses, what God uses to replenish the earth. But he never intended for the earth to be replenished with a bunch of rebels. God never intended for the earth to be replenished with a bunch of people that are ungodly. God never intended for the earth to be replenished with just people with no identities. God never intended that. When God said, be fruitful and multiply, he wanted us to multiply and be fruitful with on the earth in a way that would be pleasing to him. God is a holy God. God is not any old kind of God or any old way God. You can just offer him anything. This is why he rejected the sacrifice of Cain and accepted the sacrifice of Abel. God does not just accept any old thing. So and this is no judgment to nobody, but when we go out here and we just have a bunch of kids and they don't have there was no prayer involved, there was no fasting involved, there was no intention involved. It just happened. Okay, I'm pregnant, I'm going to have the baby. And that was never what God intended when he said, be fruitful and multiply. He did not just mean to go out and just have a bunch of babies. He meant to plan your life out, plan the destiny of your child, plan the birth of your child, plan the name of your child, plan what kind of life you want to see this child have. And if not, put it on hold until you are able to do that. Because if our life is not in order, the child's life is not going to be in order. Then their life is going to be, their direction is going to be messed up. Their destiny is going to be messed up. We got kids now with names that God don't even recognize. We're making up stuff, and God is saying that we're going to have to stop it. We're going to have to get back to the way that God had originally intended for this world to be. And it does start with the family. The most he's put on my heart today is when we conceive, when we prepare, when we decide to bring a child into the world. That child's life should be planned out before they even get here. That child's life, that child should be, you know, valued. That child should be loved. And this is why he didn't intend for us to just go out and have a bunch of children and we can't even pay attention to the first child we had. God is saying if that's only the amount of child you can pay attention to and invest in, then only have one. And no fun intended to our country But I understand now why other countries put a limit on how many children you can have. Because in real life, it is a hard pressed thing to invest in. They have to be planned out. Their life have to be planned out. And they say, well, you know, children don't come here with a instructions, but yes, they do, because God gave us the instructions to give to our child, to prepare for a child, to bring the child into the world, to raise the child. There are instructions. They may not be the instructions that you want them to be, but the instruction, God did give us instructions on how to bring up our child. He said, bring up a child in the way it should go. And when he is old, he is not departed. And when he says that, he means that before the child is even born, the child should be prayed for. The child should be, you know, prayed in. The child should be planned, first of all. The child should be given a pathway. The child should have a path before they even come here, not just willy-nilly, not just, okay, I had a baby, let the TV raise it and just go on. No, you have to be fully invested in that child, that that child will be raised up in the way it should go, that he is not going to be departing from, a lot of people saying, in the way that he should go, so when he is old, he will not depart. The destiny, the plan, the promise for that child, the life of that child, that child will not stray far from the life that has been planned for him if it is instilled in him when he is a small child, from birth to adulthood. If you notice, in other countries, when children are born into the world, that parent already has a plan for that child, what that child is going to be, what school that child is going to go to, what pathway that child is going to go to, who's going to take care of the child, how's the child going to be nursed, what is going to be instilled into the child. All these things have to be put in place before you even bring a child into the world. Amen. So I don't want to make this video too long, but God is saying today that um, he is very concerned about children in this time, and you know, replenishing the earth. But he never intended for the earth to be replenished with a bunch of rebels or a bunch of people that don't know where they're going, don't have no direction, no destiny, no plan for their life. um and God is just saying that he's not happy. He's not happy when we say, "Oh, I'm not concerned. Whatever he do, whatever he want to do with his life when he get grown, that's on him." No, it's not on him, because his life should be planned out. He should not leave that house without a plan and a destiny and a prayer over his life. He should not even go through different stages and ages in his life without a plan and a destiny being instilled in him in his life. Amen. That is the responsibility that God gives parents, to be invested in that child all the way. You are to plan that child's life out. You are to be the guardian of that child. That means you, just like God plans our life, and make sure that we are protected at every corner and every turn is the same. Every turn is the same way God is saying when we have a child is the way that we should be invested in that child, even after they leave the home base. And this whole thing about kicking children out when they turn 18, that is preposterous. In other nations, in other countries, they don't do that. That child stays home until that child is blessed into a marriage, or God brings a mate. And we ain't gonna even talk about the mate. We say whatever they want to be with, they can be with. No, 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 no. The parents are supposed to be fully invested in who that child's going to take up with, because that is going to determine the lineage of your bloodline. So yes, you do need to be concerned about who your daughter's dating. You do need to be concerned about who your son's dating. Amen. So I don't want to make this video too long, but God is very concerned right now about the destiny of families and our children. Amen. And it is your business. God bless. and I will see you again. Don't forget to like, share, and comment for all the first-time visitors. The subscribe button will come down at the end of this video. Amen. God bless.